Hey moms, welcome back to the channel, and today we're talking about birth control. All right, so you had a baby. Congratulations. It's awesome. Your body just did something amazing, and you have this new tiny human. But when are you going to have another? I know, that's a really annoying question, right? It's really annoying. But really, when are you going to have another? It seems like something that you shouldn't have to think about the moment that you have a baby. But really, I guess you have about 6 to 12 weeks to decide, when do we want to have another baby? Because not everybody wants to have a baby immediately after they have their first. Some people, they do. They want to get their family going. They want to have a really big family, and that's awesome. But if that's not for you, that was not for us. If that's not for you, then today we're going to talk about some birth control options that will help maybe extend that time between babies out. So let's start at our 6-week appointment. Okay. Now, when we birth a baby, whether it's C-section or vaginally, we are told no sex before your 6-week checkup. And then even sometimes at your 6-week checkup, it's not time yet. Your body hasn't healed enough. There are people that they can't wait, and that's their prerogative. I was not one of those people. But, generally speaking, after 6 weeks, your body has healed enough that you can have sex again. Cool. That's awesome. But there's a couple of different things that happen with bodies after you have a baby. Sometimes if you have fertility issues, if you had fertility issues before you got pregnant, then you have a baby, your body's like, oh man, this is what we're supposed to do? Okay, let's do it again. Or your body is just like, nah, not yet. It's not time. If you are breastfeeding, from what I understand, you have less likely of a chance to get pregnant. Your period kind of waits to come back for a little while. But if you're not breastfeeding, your period can come back pretty quickly, from what I understand. Now, let me go ahead and say, I am not a professional. I've just done a lot of research, and I've had lots of conversations with my doctor because I am one of those people who has fertility issues. And the reason that we decided to do birth control is because what if my body decided we're going to work now? We were not ready for that. We just wanted to enjoy being a family of 3. And we are still a family of 3, 2 years into it. So that was our decision. So let's start with going over a couple of options, okay? I'm gonna bring out my handy dandy phone here. And I'm just gonna read all the different options that are available. If you go to Google, you type in birth control, this is what it's gonna tell you. It's gonna tell you all these different birth control methods, okay? There's the birth control pill. There's the birth control patch. There's the IUD. There's the vaginal ring. There's the birth control shot, implant. There's a diaphragm, cervical cap, spermicide, birth control sponge. That sounds delightful. There's a tubal ligation. There is a female condom. There's a vasectomy. And then there's the male condom. So we're just going to focus on a couple of them here. The male condom and the female condom, those are readily available at Walmart, your pharmacy, Target, your grocery store. There are lots of options. There's even some really good non-latex options these days. I think there's always the really natural one of like the lambskin one, but there's also the Lifestyles. Yes, Lifestyles has a polyurethane one, and I'm going to be honest, I'm allergic to latex. So, after our 6-week appointment, we had to wait an additional few weeks before we did the birth control option that we chose. So, in that time, we used the polyurethane condoms, and they're fantastic. Even if you just don't like latex, or you don't like the way the latex smells, you don't like the way it feels, the Lifestyles polyurethane ones are fantastic. But there's also all of the different latex options, which are a little cheaper and more affordable if you're able to use them. Lots of good options there. There's also ones that have spermicide in them already if you want the extra protection there. The sponge and the diaphragm, I've seen those before at the store, but I don't know a lot about them. Those are definitely an older method that's been around for a long time. And if that's something that you want to try, look into it, talk to your doctor about it. That's not something we're going to talk about today, though. Also, I don't know what the cervical cap is. I've never heard of that one. I'm just going to touch on the birth control patch. It's kind of a neat option. So you put the patch on and it lasts for a week, and then you replace it. You can put it on your shoulder, you can put it on your back, your arm or your shoulder, and then you can put it like on the top of your butt cheek. And it is apparently 91% effective. I'm going to link all this stuff, the products below. Well, I'm going to link the websites for the patch, the ring, the shot, there's a whole bunch of birth control pills. I'm just going to link you to a generic, like a general site for those, and you can look at all the different options. But this one, it kind of looks like a Band-Aid. So it's about the size of a quarter, so it's kind of small. Okay, so it releases estrogen through the patch daily for 1 week, and then you have to change it. And I don't think that you wear it when during your cycle, when you're having your period. It also does say there is a limitation to use of the patch. The patch does say that it may not be as effective in women weighing more than 198 pounds or 90 kilograms. So if you are above that range, I don't know if the patch is a good idea for you. Just a little important information to give you. And then there's the vaginal ring, which I have tried that before. I started taking birth control when I was 16 because I knew that I wanted to explore things and I wanted to be safe about it in all ways possible, right? Also, I had sort of irregular periods back then, and I was told that birth control helped control your periods and made them predictable, which it did. It worked out that way. But I did birth control for several years, and then I tried the ring. And what I didn't know is that there are like massive differences in the dosages between birth control options. I knew that I was on like the low estrogen FE, which is a low dose of estrogen with iron supplement in it as well, right? But what I didn't know when I changed to the ring was that it was so much more estrogen than what I was receiving through the pill. And I was 19, 20. I was 20 when I switched to the ring, and it was a terrible decision for me because that's when I figured out that my body needs lower amounts of estrogen because it made me like a raging bitch. I was not pleasant to be around. I didn't want to like be intimate, and it was not a good experience for me. But if your body can tolerate high, like normal amounts of estrogen, like a typical birth control, then that's probably a good option for you if you don't remember to take pills, because you insert it into your vaginal canal and it stays there. And if you have sex, you take it out and then you put it back in. And when you're on your period, you take it out. So, I mean, it's a great concept, and it releases hormones daily while it's in. Great concept. if that's something you're interested in, definitely talk to your doctor about it, and see if it's something that they recommend for you. So it says that it's about 91% effective. You replace it monthly. NuvaRing is the brand, is the very popular brand. The birth control patch, by the way, is Xulane, Xulane. Again, I'm going to link these below, but that's also about 91% effective. Then let's talk about the depot shot. That is there's a couple of different ones, I guess. The one that is most known is the Depo Provera, which is a progesterone shot, but I feel like the shot is very controversial. The shot and the implant are the things that I hear the most controversy over. I don't know anybody who's had an implant, but I do know people who have had the shot and that have not had good experiences with it. It's made them feel awful. It's led to multiple miscarriages after they've stopped using it. They've gotten pregnant on it. That's possible with any of them, but I hear the most about the shot. But any birth control that you look into, that is yours and your doctor's decision and yours alone. I'm just giving you information about what they are. Don't let my personal opinions decide anything for you, because everybody is different and everybody's body reacts differently to things, okay? So the Depo-Provera shot you get every 3 months. It's a shot. I think a lot of people get it like on their butt or like in their side or something. Every 3 months. It's very important that you get it consistently every 3 months. And then if you decide that you want to get pregnant, and you want to stop taking it, it's also important to know that it can take up to 18 months for that particular medication to leave your body. A lot of times they recommend, give your body like several months or up to a year detox from your birth control. That is not always the case when you take pills. It's not the case when you have an IUD. Apparently, a lot of people, when you have the IUD taken out, you get pregnant like that, which is great when that's what you want. But with the shot, it is possible that it will take up to 18 months for it to leave your system completely and for you to get pregnant. Some people right away, some people a year and a half. I have a cousin who had multiple miscarriages within 1 year because it has not left her system yet and she didn't know. And that sucks. But that could be with anything. But it's just something to consider, especially if you're not done having kids and if you want to have kids with like 2 years apart, something to consider, knowing that it could take up to 18 months for that to leave your system. So again, gonna link that below so you can look into more information about it. Those are the big things with it. There are no limits on size or anything like that, like there is with the patch apparently. But, that's an option. The next one that we'll talk about is the implant. It is Nexplanon is the implant that I see here, that I have heard about the most, and I think it is an estrogen-based implant. It lasts for about 3 years. It's a pretty high dose of estrogen over time, from what I understand. They implant it into your arm, like I think it goes in like right here in your arm. That kind of freaks me out a little bit personally. But, if that is an option that you want to do, definitely look into it. So the shot and the implant stop ovulation. That's the goal, is they make it so your body does not ovulate, and it also makes it more difficult for the sperm to pass through by making things thicker. Anyways, that is the implant. There's a lot of information on there. It is really thin and flexible, and from what I understand, you don't feel it once it's implanted into your arm. And then you have it replaced every 3 years if that's what you would like to do, or have it taken out. So the next one we'll talk about, guys, there's so many pills. Okay, the list is so long. The biggest thing about pills is they all have around the same side effects, right? Majority of them are estrogen based. And so you have 4 weeks of, or 3 weeks of estrogen pills, and then a week of placebo pills. Or if you have the pills that have iron in them, you have basically iron tablets for that last week. And you can either get them with the full month's worth of pills, including the ones that you take during the week of your period. That's great for consistency if you need to take a pill every single day, or if you have the ones with the iron and you need the iron while you're on your period. Definitely great. You can also get them without that additional week of pills. And then there's the low estrogen pills. There's the regular strength estrogen pills, and there's also a progesterone pill. And if you want to take pills while you're breastfeeding, that's the pill that you want to get. You want to get a progesterone pill, because the estrogen is not safe to take while you're breastfeeding. Okay, so there are a couple of different progesterone-only birth control pills available now. But from what I understand from those is you have to make sure you take them at the exact, like, same time every day, or else you will just have spotting all the time. I mean, I guess that's something that can happen with any kind of birth control, but for multiple people I've heard that one is, especially make sure you're taking it on time, or else it's like you're having a period all the time, and that kind of sucks. So there are, again, lots of different pill options. Make sure you look them up if that is something that you want to do, and talk to your doctor about what level of hormone are best for you. Then the next one is the IUD, which is the intrauterine device, and it is inserted through your cervix, and it sits just inside of your uterus. That's what I have. There are 5 different ones. I'm reading this from the Planned Parenthood site, but there's a copper one, which is a Paragard, and then there are the hormonal ones, which is Mirena, Kyleena, Melinda, and Scylla. Okay, so the Paragard works with copper, and the way that works is it is effective. It's non-hormonal, and it is 99% effective, and you can have it for up to 12 years, which is cool. Okay, so the copper works to prevent sperm from reaching the egg and fertilizing, and it may also prevent implantation. So that's how that works. Definitely look it up. I'm going to link it below. If you're looking for a non-hormone option completely, but not condoms, check into that. Again, it can last up to 12 years. That's awesome, especially if you're looking for long-term family planning, and not trying to get pregnant like right away or anything like that. So the other ones, Mirena is probably the most popular one that I've heard of. That was the one that I asked about when I went to the doctor. And the thing about, so Mirena, Kyleena, and Scylla are all manufactured by Bayer. And they are all 3 different levels of hormones. So the Mirena is the highest hormone system, and it's progesterone, but it releases the highest amount of hormones. But the way that these work is that it causes the cervical mucus to thicken, preventing sperm from being able to enter your uterus. And then it keeps it from fertilizing an egg. And then it also thins the lining of the uterus to make it less hospitable for implantation as well. It also helps treat heavy periods, which is pretty cool as well. Who is Mirena right for? We're going to read that. It does say you can use it whether you have or have not had a child. So that's good. There are definitely some birth control options that they don't want you to do if you've not had kids. The Depo shot is one I've heard that they don't want you to do that if you haven't had kids. But yes, so there are, if you want to have more kids in the future, if you had a baby recently and you don't want to get pregnant again, you know, Mirena is a good option. The next one is Kyleena, which is the one that I have. But Mirena is 52 milligrams is what it says it is. But then the Kyleena is 19.5 milligrams of hormones in it, okay? So this one is the smallest one, is what I've been told. And that's what the website says as well. It says the smallest lowest hormone, and it lasts for 5 years. I'm sorry, Mirena also lasts for up to 5 years. So Kyleena can last for up to 5 years. It is smaller than the Mirena, which the Mirena is about the size of a sugar packet. That's an interesting way to compare it, but it is about the size of a sugar packet. And then Kyleena is about the size of an earbud, is how they describe it size-wise. So, and it's a little bit more flexible and softer than the Mirena IUD is. So that is the one that we decided to go with. It's implanted the same way. It works very similarly. So who is Kyleena right for? It's if you want low hormones, if you want, you know, something that works up to 5 years, something that's easily changeable, you can take out. While I can use breastfeeding if more than 6 weeks have passed since I've had my baby, you know, if you want, it also doesn't contain any latex. That was important for me as well. So Kyleena is a great option. I recommend it to people because I've had a great experience with it so far. The next one that we have is the Scylla. And Scylla is even less hormones in it. It says it's 13.5 milligrams. This is not something that was recommended for me from my doctor. It is used the same way. Scylla is only effective for 3 years. So that's possibly why it was not recommended for me, because I wanted something that was going to last possibly a little bit longer and I guess to be a little bit more effective for my body. It does seem to be geared towards younger women, but it is bigger than the Kyleena. It is about the same, it's slightly larger than the Kyleena, about the same size as the Mirena, I suppose. But yeah, so if you want to do an even lower dose of hormones, look into that one as well. And then the last one is the Liletta, which is the same dosage as the Mirena, but it's made by a different company. It is also progesterone, but this one lasts for up to 6 years, is what it says.
Okay, so I wanted to add this little clip for you about the dosages that you're receiving per day. The IUDs work on a decreasing amount kind of system, where the first month to year is the highest dosage you're going to receive, and then it just kind of lowers until the end of the IUD's lifespan. There's lots of technical terminology in science that explains that you absolutely can Google, but I just wanted to pop these numbers up on the screen for you to show you how much of the hormones you are going to receive when and for how long. So pause it, look at it. I'll put the resource or the website where I found that information as well. And yeah, back to the video.
So there are so many birth control options, and you definitely will be able to find something that works for you. It's just a matter of talking to your doctor and finding out what that is. For me personally, the Kyleena has been awesome. Um, I don't remember to take pills. The hormones have not affected me that I've noticed. I've been pretty level um, throughout all of it, because my experience with birth control before that was I was all over the place. So Kyleena has been great for me. It didn't affect my uh, ability to nurse my baby. It was great. Now, with all birth control, it is possible that you're going to gain weight. And so I did gain a little bit of weight. That was my first weight gain after my baby was born, was after I got my IUD, which I don't know that I was not expecting it. That's just something that can happen with any type of hormone therapy that you can take, that you take. So anyways, there's lots of options. There are lots of links below that you can check out. The biggest thing is to have conversation with your partner, with your doctor, with whoever is involved in that decision for you. There's nothing wrong with taking birth control. But it's also not necessary if you don't want to. Everybody has a different plan for their family, and that's all right. You just have to decide what's best for you. And hopefully I provided a little bit of information here that if you do want to go the birth control route, that is a couple of different things for you to think about, and definitely have linked information that's going to be useful for you. So let me know what you thought about this video. Make sure you like it, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon so you are notified when we post other videos like this. Is this something you want to continue to see? Do you want us to talk about information like this or go in depth on different topics like this? Let us know below. Follow us on social media at Mama Slimmy on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And that's all I have for you tonight. I hope it was helpful, and we'll see you next time. Bye, moms.